Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we are excited that you're here tonight because we have a ton to geek out about. In fact, we have too much to geek out about.
Too much?
I don't know
Is
if that's
it possible?
Well, maybe not too much to geek out about, but too much to fit in a half-hour show.
Sounds like we're going to an hour. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Don't give them false hope.
I'm sorry. That's why I said it was a joke.
We have done it before, and we could do it again.
We reserve it for special occasions.
That is true.
Like Christmas.
Yes. Or we could just do an hour show, like if that's what people really wanted.
Do the people want it?
I mean, it would be nothing like that live stream last week where it was like 3.5 hours.
We did a 3.5 hour live stream?
Murray did the first hour with me, and then I did the last two on my own.
That one.
Yes, that one.
I was so confused. I was like, we have not done an Olympics and Lego in a couple weeks.
That is true. We can call it Geeks Corner Plus. Clocky had a great idea there. Before we get any further, though, if you are going on a Disney trip anytime soon, please consider Mouseways Travel. They're doing a great job for us as we prepare to go to Florida. And they will take care of you, and they will focus on the details so you can focus on the magic. And as you utilize this free service from Mouseways Travel, you'll also be supporting DAP's Magic and help us do more things like this, or maybe more ukulele songs. We actually had an idea for ukulele songs, didn't we?
We did. Well, you did. I agreed.
But it was a fun conversation. So
it was a collaboration.
Yes, it was collaboratory.
Good word.
I was trying to make a fake word, and then it became, I think, a real word, but that's okay.
I mean, that's how all real words start. It's fake words.
Okay.
English is never evolving language, and we made it up.
That is true. And speaking of evolving, so is our set.
Look.
We are going to be adding more things to the set on the walls in the coming weeks and months. We don't know how long it will take us.
It might take us a while.
But we have all of this really cool geeky stuff. And we have plans for some of it to end up on the wall behind me and the wall behind Katie. And we look forward to sharing it with you in the coming days, weeks, and months. 2 art walls, Bailey, even better. The blue sign, the east-west sign, will not go anywhere. Like, it might move around a little bit.
I was gonna say, don't say that.
We're not getting rid of it.
It will move.
It's always moved. Like,
but it will not go back to the side of the road where it was found.
No, I don't want to go all the way out to Arizona. Anyway, so we were actually talking about ukuleles and beyond our really cool new art wall. But we have been talking. Bailey thought it was a green screen once upon a time.
I mean, I am wearing a green shirt.
True. But we will be doing more ukulele videos in the future, and I thought it would be fun to work my way through the official Geeks Corner playlist.
Yeah. Which
the next song won't be from the Geeks. Actually, it is. I think I did put it to the Geeks Corner playlist.
I've got an idea for
an idea.
It's like when you had the bell
that
I'm touching.
It's over there. Okay.
No, it haunts me.
Yes.
There was a song on the playlist that somebody in the chat was very, very excited about being. So I think that one should come soon. Sunday night. Austin Powers.
Oh, people were excited about that one?
I included you in that conversation. He doesn't remember. That's okay. Anyway, Bailey, you know what I'm talking about. I think that you should put that song in. And for the record, I'd like to make a disclaimer. Maybe this will jog your memory. I
know that part of the conversation. I just didn't remember this song.
You don't remember the song?
I know the song. I just didn't know that it was a big deal. I forgot the song was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
I remember the second part of this.
Anywho, I did not put any songs on the official Geeks Corner playlist. So if there's anything that screams, maybe Katie put this on the official Geeks Corner playlist. No, I did not. I do not have that authority.
But what might have happened for some of the songs, I'd be like, oh, Katie might like that one. And then I added it. And that does happen.
That's fair.
And then there's also ones where like, oh, Murray likes this song. He's not here, but that's okay. This one makes me think of Luke. Let's put this in. Like, I just get inspired by different people to put different songs on the list. And so it's an ever evolving and it's a living list.
Anyway, I'd love to see you rap whistle.
Oh, that song.
Are you just now catching on? Anyway,
I thought you meant the song that was just on like 3 minutes
ago.
ago.
The song is Just the Two of Us from Austin Powers when it's Dr. Evil and Will Smith.
I might have to use the melodica for that one too.
No, I don't think.
Well, it's all pre-recorded, so it won't matter.
Anywho,
or I can use the accordion.
So yeah, that's
I'll have to think about it, and I'll have to decide how I'm going to go through said list. I might just pick random. I really need to make a
put it on shuffle,
a spreadsheet.
See which way. Hey, Angela.
I was gonna say it's either Angela or Caitlin, probably.
Yeah.
Because Caitlin made the Disney This Day spreadsheet.
It's true.
But anyway, shall we get into the show? We have done nothing
so
in
busy.
the first 6 minutes of this show.
This show is so jam-packed. 6 minutes of
But they're still watching.
fluff. You like us. Yeah, so let's talk.
They're like, where are they gonna go next? They have no clue.
Honestly, it's kind of like watching I don't know what it's like watching, but you just don't know what's gonna happen next.
Paint dry. Is it like watching paint dry?
Oh gosh, watching paint dry is not very fun.
I am excited to see, like, this is really cool seeing behind you. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna move.
That's
right
not
into the
paint.
show. No, it is not. That was painted. And then
No, it wasn't.
We
That's not a
bid,
wall.
we bid on who was gonna get it. Raising money for Chuck.
This.
Yes.
We outbid each other.
And the one next to it was painted also by Caitlin. That is me on top of Spaceship Earth.
And that one was painted by Caitlin.
That's pretty good.
Thank you for visiting our art wall.
Yes. And maybe at some point we'll do, like, when we get it closer to where we want it to be, we'll do like a tour on Instagram or something of the art wall.
That's going to be on Geeks Corner Plus.
Yeah, Geeks Corner Plus. There we go. All right, let's move out of the pluses and go into the parks. And Magic Keys are now available. We each own one now. And Sunday was our first chance to see how they worked, and we got the full experience. So we did the parking thing, which worked just fine. Hold your phone, they scan it. Wasn't too.
Don't drop your phone.
Then you get a receipt, which came really fast.
Much faster than I feel like it did previously.
Yes, because I remember them scanning my pass, and it'd be like,
And then they were holding your pass. It would take a while.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I thought that was nice and quick. And then we hopped on the bus, wore our face coverings while we were on the bus, got in through security. We were in the parks, I feel like, really fast. The first time we did go through the gate, they did take our picture for, like, to connect it with our Magic Key, which was fine and cool. And it seemed like discounts worked just fine. Like all in all, it was a flawless process from that perspective.
And didn't have any issues with my Magic Key discount. Though I will say that we did not eat at any sit-down dining locations.
That is true.
Where I have heard there's been some bumps, I suppose, with the new system, just because there are no physical versions of the passes anymore. And to give you your discount, your server would have to, in theory, take your phone. So I think that's something they're figuring out. Maybe
but I feel like
handheld scanners.
Yeah, I was like, even an iPhone like they have at main gate, I feel like can fix that really fast.
Definitely. I think it's something that's solved. I was just saying that we don't have firsthand experience with that, what's going on. So everything
yet.
Quick service, mobile order.
Lamplight Lounge, I'm looking at you.
I want tri-tip nachos.
I just want the nachos.
But yeah, so everything was really, really nice. It was just nice to not have the pressure of like a looming deadline over your head.
Well, and it was nice not knowing that I spent, what was it, $165 to go to the park this day, and feeling like, oh, I got to get all these videos, go on all these rides,
it was
experience
a lot more stressful.
Everything. Like, it's interesting because you start understanding why these people that spend thousands of dollars to go to Disneyland on a vacation feel like they need to do everything and that they should be able to do everything. And I'm not condoning that, but I do understand where that attitude comes from of like, oh yeah, well, I spent all of this money. I should be able to get all that. And
be nice to your cast members.
Oh, totally. But I think it just gave us a perspective that we haven't had being pass holders for as long as we have. And that was like, I think one of the perks of having to purchase tickets when we were going in each time was that whole like, oh, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I thought that was interesting and fun. It was really nice just not having to feel like you did, like there was no racing to do stuff. There was no rush. There was no, like, we didn't do anything. Like,
it was so nice.
Yeah, we watched entertainment, which it's nice having more of that back.
And it was a sold out day or a booked up day at
Yeah.
Disneyland. There was still reservations for Disney California Adventure Park the morning of, but Disneyland was completely booked, and it was lovely.
Well, and I didn't feel like it was super busy anywhere. I
No.
think one of the fun parts was when we were walking out of California Adventure, seeing the entrance of Avengers Campus. The lights were all off, except for like, remember?
The arc reactor.
Yeah, except for the
was
arc
the only thing that
reactor.
was on. And the Spidey meet and greet.
Yeah, the Spidey meet and greet. And that was kind of weird at first. And it was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
It was so fun. Clearly there was a power outage of some type, because it didn't affect.
I love the idea though that some cast members on their break and they're just like leaning against the wall
And they flipped.
and the lights go off
Yeah.
and nobody like can figure it out and you know they don't know.
It felt like they turned off the wrong surge protector.
Yeah.
To put it in very simple terms. But you could tell the issue had been going for a while because the cast members were outfitted with flashlights.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and the photo pass were all kind of standing around like,
well,
what do we do?
and just to continue, like how not busy it was, is we walked through the park after 8 o'clock, Disneyland. We walked into it and we walked down Main Street around the hub in front of the castle, and we couldn't get front and center castle, but both sides were all open.
Yeah.
And Main Street wasn't packed. And we walked over to Rivers of America and got a spot front row there to watch the fireworks over the Mark Twain, which I think is just a beautiful thing to do.
We got a front row to watch Phantasmic. And then when that didn't happen, we watched Mickey's Mixed Magic. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Mixed Magic is a great show. I just miss Phantasmic.
It was fun to watch from there, though.
Honestly,
it was
it's
nice
a
to have
great
the
place
space
to watch.
and you can hear the music, and that was cool. And
there are no projections
no.
because in the past they have done the water projections. That's not a thing right now, but I still think that if you're just wanting the vibe of Mickey's Mixed Magic, which is just a happy all around good show, like I said it on Sunday, there's no down point.
It just keeps going.
Magic. Like Mickey's Mixed Magic is a very consistent high energy show for 11, 12 minutes.
Which is why it probably shouldn't be any longer than it is.
Exactly.
Like you're good to go.
But there's no emotional lows of, oh man, you're walking through Rivers of America and now you're very, very sad because the sad portion of the show has come so you can hit the hero's journey. But yeah, that makes sense. That's just a good time. Just happy, just fun.
Then we wandered through Galaxy's Edge. That wasn't super busy. Actually, it wasn't busy at all. We were getting really cool pictures that basically didn't have anybody in them.
And there were stormtroopers on the roof.
By the Millennium Falcon, which was
awesome.
super cool also.
It was in that press area that they've only used for the press junket of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge when it opened.
I'd like to think of it as like Iger's parapet.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
Because that's like, I'm sure other people have been interviewed up there, but I think of Bob Iger up there when I think
that's fair. And I don't blame you. But anyway, they put stormtroopers there, which I think was a wonderful choice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was weird to have them there and not over in the First Order area, but
they're coming for you.
But I have no problem with that. All right, well, let's move right in. I think so far we can say 2 thumbs up for Magic Keys. We haven't had issues with getting reservations yet. We haven't, yes, they're gone for this weekend if you haven't gotten them already, but
it's the first weekend of Halloween, baby.
That's true too. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's fun to be back, and it's fun to not have the stress of a day ticket.
Agreed.
All right, so we now have Magic Keys here at Disneyland, and very soon Walt Disney World will have the annual pass, which isn't returning, but will be sold again. And they've updated that program as well, which I find interesting now that I'm speaking this aloud, is we got a complete rebrand of the entire program for a program that's very similar to what we had before, other than reservations and a few things like that. They've still got annual passes, but their program looks very much like the Magic Key. In fact, in the next 24 hours, I'm going to have an article that's going to compare the Magic Key with the annual pass, but we'll hit the highlights of this before it goes up on the site with you guys, because you're the ones watching. And before we get into that, though, there's 4 levels for both parks. They're all within $100 of each other. And so the first one is the Disney Pixie Dust Pass, which is $399. And very comparable to what Disneyland has as well. which is, what did you laugh at?
The Florida Keys.
Florida's, oh, I love that. Yeah, so that's very comparable to the Imagine Key. They're both $399 plus tax. If you're to do a monthly payment, it's $19 a month. The only difference is it's $179 down here, and in Florida, it's a $205 down payment.
Are they all $205 down payments?
Yes.
Fascinating.
And we're all $179.
Yeah. That's why I was seeing if there was. That's
I actually thought it was an interesting choice for math, because if you look at all of these different passes, their payments are all within like $5 a month of the equivalent in the other coast. But it's with the different down payments. So I feel like somebody was really smart with that. And so geeks like us that look at this, they're like, oh, that looks like it's similar, even though it kind of isn't. Next level is the Disney Pirate Pass.
Arr.
And I want to hear what people's favorite of these 4 passes, just from a term of a name, not like what you get with them. I just want to know which name you like the best as we get through this. That is $699 compared to the Enchant Key, which is $649. But it's $40 a month at Disneyland for the Enchant Key, $45 a month for the Pirate Pass. I thought that was interesting. I should note that with Pixie Dust, you get 3 reservations. This one, you get 4 with Pirate Pass. And then if you want 5, you need to get the Disney Sorcerer Pass for $899. So this is about $50 cheaper than the Believe Key, which is $949. $65 a month for Believe, and Sorcerer is $63 a month. I think that's fascinating. Like, they've just done a fantastic job keeping those close. And then their top level, I'm not getting into all the things, but you do get 5 reservations at any given time with the Disney Sorcerer Pass. And then there's the Disney Incredipass. And that is $12.99 versus the Dream Key, which is $13.99. This is the biggest divergence between the two of them. It's $99 a month for Florida residents, which the monthly is only for Florida, just like here, monthly is only for California. Here in California, if you're getting the Dream Key, it's $102 a month. I am really, like, I just find that I'm curious the psychology behind choosing that. With all of Florida's passes, you get parking. All of them, you get up to a 20% merch and food discount. And I think that varies based on things that I don't actually know. And then you have the option in Florida for add-ons, which are $99 each. And you can either get Photo Pass, or you can get the water and sports parks.
Or you could do both.
Or for $200 or $198. Yes. But what do you think of this new system, and what is your favorite name?
My favorite name is the Pixie Dust Pass, because I just love pixie dust. In case you don't know me, I really love glitter a lot. Ask about 4th of July, 2018.
Yeah, you went for it.
I went for it. I love glitter. So I like the name Pixie Dust Pass. I am very interested as to why they also didn't go for the Magic Key program. In Florida.
I have a thought.
Okay.
Do you think it's because they didn't cancel the former annual passes?
I do.
Like, you could have done a transition, but it would have been messy.
I think that I don't know.
To me, the bigger question is, if you're going to keep this as similar to the annual pass program and make it as similar as the Magic Key, why have a Magic Key program?
I agree. I also think that the two naming constructs are just so different that this program feels a little disjointed to me.
Okay.
Simply because you have all these verbs of enchant, believe, dream, and then over here
future
you have
name for Disney ships and current ones, actually.
That's true. And then in Florida you have all of these nouns:
Pixie, Pirate, Sorcerer,
Incredibles. Which don't even get me started on that name. I think it's hilarious. But yeah,
I will admit, the only one that makes remote sense to me, like, just if I'm like, oh yeah, of course, the Sorcerer Pass.
Sorcerer Pass, 100%.
That feels like, oh yeah, that makes kind of sense. And honestly, once I said it, I'm like, I don't know if it makes complete sense to me. I do think there's something to be said for keeping things very straightforward, which neither of these programs are. Like, to me, there is something to be said for tall, grande, venti. Like there's something, small, medium, large. Like I think there's
People
something.
say that Starbucks doesn't make sense, so don't use a Starbucks comparison.
Okay, but it does to me.
It does to me.
And if you know any level of Italian and you were a music
Spanish.
major, maybe you would know that, or Spanish. But I do think there's something to be said for keeping it very straightforward, so that when you're looking at things or you're talking about them, it's just very easy to communicate what you're looking for and what you're talking about.
That's what the previous systems in Disneyland and Walt Disney World did very well. Like silver, gold, platinum.
Makes sense
because you know what that designation is.
Yes.
And here, when it was, Flex, SoCal Select, up to Premium back in the day, or Signature Plus, those designations make sense in your mind because those words have assigned value to them.
Well, and the weird thing is you're saying this, Pixie's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Followed by Pirate. Like, why is Pirate above Pixie? Shouldn't
I would
Pixie
think Pirates would be at the bottom.
I would put Pirate at the bottom, then Pixie, and then I would do Incredipass, and then Sorcerer at the top.
Sorcerer makes, you would think that
Sorcerer is Mickey, and Mickey's the, all started with a mouse. That's the one that it should be.
It's because they took out his hat at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, that's it.
They said nope.
But it's an interesting, like, I don't actually hate any of these, but as I'm thinking about them and we're speaking about them, I'm kind of like, it is an interesting choice. Like, I will flat out tell you, I remember the Dream Key and I remember the Believe Key. Enchant and Imagine, I have flipped in my head a million times because I'm like, I don't remember which one's which. And it's just because there's not.
You're off better than me because I always think it's the Inspire Key.
Fair. Okay.
No, but it's something that I've been thinking about since the week Magic Key was announced. There was a podcast I listened to, and they said they were trying to ask somebody else, so what do you think the ranking is for these keys? Because there's just no designation to the words. And it was really funny as somebody, like, obviously who knew what the tier levels were, watching somebody else try and be like, well, this sounds like it could be the top. No, okay, that's actually the bottom. Well, it was it's just funny. Like, I don't know. I don't think that it's the naming scheme that I would have went with, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know that it'll stay that. Like,
I don't know.
Like, I think we're gonna see a ton of surveys in the coming months, and we'll see how this.
I have one in my email currently that I need to respond to.
There you go. And I think as people give feedback, maybe people will love this. I don't know. I just, as I was overthinking this, I'm like, that's a little bit more like, I love the A ticket through E ticket idea. You can have an A pass through E pass. It'd be A through D, I guess, but whatever. But I do find it interesting that there's 4 passes each coast now. They're all within very similar prices with similar, for the most part, benefits. And it will be interesting to see how it's received and implemented in Florida starting September 8th.
I'm just happy that Walt Disney World folks have passes back, to be completely honest. Obviously, this is something that really doesn't affect me very much as a Southern California resident. So I'm just happy to see that my friends, I'm thinking of like Mikey specifically, who didn't have a pass when everything shut down.
Yep.
Just being able to have a Walt Disney World pass.
Well, and how long they had to wait versus, like, granted, the people that were renewing have had passes all this time, but just that length of waiting that's a long time. And
I'm just happy to see the program make a comeback. So
totally.
I'm a happy camper.
Good. I'm also a happy camper as we move right along about the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
It's a game.
And if you've played the Lego Star Wars, any of the Lego video games, I should say, they are completely charming, humorous, and they recreate iconic moments in a very Lego way, traditionally with just like murmuring. So there's not actual speaking. This one's different, but you will get to play through all 9 episodes
of the
Skywalker Saga. And so they released this trailer this week, and I think it's the second trailer they've released, if I remember correctly. And as we were watching it was like, oh, they used the Force Awakens music, like, which was, I think, really smart. But they showed so many different iconic Star Wars moments with the Lego twist, which is a little bit irreverent and a little bit humorous, and it's just corny and I think it's hilarious. But it's one of those games where, as we were watching the trailer, I was like, I totally need to play this. I want to play. I'm going to sit down and play all 9 episodes all at once. Probably not, but you're going to get to play, looks like, all of the characters you could ever want to play. And I'm guessing on both light side and dark side, if they're like some of the other ones, because we've definitely played both of those. I don't know. I wish I knew this off the top of my head, and I should have looked it up, if there's co-op mode, because that's been traditionally fun in some of the Lego Star Wars games. And then you also get to fly a bunch of the best ships in the galaxy, whether it's an X-Wing, Millennium Falcon, I'm assuming others. I think it's going to be fantastic. What did you think of it?
I think it's just so fun.
Have you played any of the Star Wars or the Lego games?
No.
Oh, we need to fix this.
I'm just excited. Like I really love the Skywalker Saga. Obviously the sequel trilogy has a very special place in my heart specifically. And there were moments from that was just like, oh, this looks good. Like my jaw dropped. Obviously the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy are still very special. But to me, there is so much love for the sequel trilogy that I'm so excited to see in Lego Star Wars form. That is 100% not true, Bailey. No, that's me. Oh, that's no. We've been pretty good in co-op modes. Yeah, like I think there's generally a desire to beat the game, so there's pretty good teamwork with that, and like that's actually my favorite way to play most games is co-op, because I just think there's something fun about facing the challenges together. I think it was interesting watching what moments they picked up from the Skywalker Saga, because I felt like there was a lot of prequels and a lot of sequels and not a ton of original series. Like there was there's a few, a little bit of A New Hope and a little bit of Empire, more of Empire than anything, but it felt like a lot of moments from the sequels, a lot of moments. And I wonder if that's because kids playing video games are more aware of I think that translating into a video game aspect, there is just more to pull from the prequels and the sequels because they're flashier than the original trilogy was. Yeah. I think that there's more really cool lightsaber battles in the prequels. And in the sequels, there's lots of really cool ships and things exploding and backflips and what have you. Mm-hmm. And not that the original trilogy is any better or worse because it does not have those things, but I just think there's Ewoks in the original trilogy. I think translating into a video game series, I think they're just more Ewok, the video game. So at this point in the video game, you're a Lego, and the Ewoks have you over a fire, and that's a problem because you're a Lego. Oh no, you get to be the Ewoks. Like I was thinking, like yeah. You are ridiculous. But yeah, so I actually think they could make that into a game. I think so too. But I really loved like obviously getting to hear Star Wars music. I was a very happy camper. Well, and I think it's interesting just listening to you talk too about, this isn't exactly to the game, but we always end up talking about Star Wars one way or the other, is you talked about how your love for the sequels. Yeah. And I would say my love is for the original series. Yeah. Because that's what I grew up with. And like I remember when we first got surround sound, it was like you have to watch Star Wars, like that's just what you do. But I love that you've got these different generations that connect with the different series and or trilogies. Different generations. Well, Star Wars fans, yes, because your Star Wars generation started in life 5 years ago. Is that when Force Awakens came out? No, 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So that's when that's your generation. I was going to say, actually, coming up on this week. Hey, Babu Frick. Anyway, coming up on this week. This week is actually the 6-year anniversary of watching A New Hope for the first time because it was Labor Day weekend. And you got a group together so that we could watch A New Hope so that I could watch Star Wars for the first time. Yeah. That's a couple months ahead of Force Awakens coming out. All right, Caitie, we are running out of time for tonight. What should people do? Go to dapsmagic.com. Read my love letter to Babu Frick, which I should write at some point. Actually, you should. I think
that needs to happen
I'm-
very soon.
I think that I am one of the most passionate people about Babu Frick. Nay! And then subscribe to our mailing list so that when I write that article about Babu Frick,
You don't miss it.
you can read that droid is ready. I'm so sorry.
And then subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch more of this craziness and other craziness like Alice telling cat jokes.
Oh, that was good.
Did you like that?
That was really
I thought it
fun.
was fun. But yeah, we've got a lot of videos from the parks going up from before we had our magic keys. And now that we have them, there's going to be even more, including full coverage of Halloween time coming to Disneyland this weekend, which you will not want to
And
miss.
we'll probably be live streaming something.
Yeah, I would assume so as much. Yeah, definitely that'll be happening as well.
Calendars.
Friday. Anyway, that is all the time that we have for you this week. So we will see you round the corner.
Bye.